Hi, this is Trooper Joe from ArchAngel A Return to Chivalry. And you can catch my show on 7averadio.com every Wednesday from 3 to 4. Thank you. Hi, it's Trooper Joe, and I'm here with Benda Jenkins, keeping it real, and one of the founders of this coalition movement that's here. Can we have a few words from you, Brenda?
Yes, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the 5 o'clock shadow, Will McNeil. I'd like to thank Joe, Trooper Joe, ArchAngel, for taking your time and coming and interviewing and supporting this event. That means so much to us, and just let you all know that this organization is going to support you guys' business. I want to say that shout out first.
Thank you.
Yes, and so that being said, as a co-founder of the Massachusetts Women Coalition, I'm very excited. You know, I don't want to be redundant because I know you've had interviews with some very powerful women. I think one of the most important things is that we have an opportunity to influence our power across the state and show that we have the ability to sit in places where they don't think we can sit. I think right now what we have to do is continue to intergenerational. We have to bring the young people in. I think that will carry it. We need to involve the universities, the Black student unions, the Third World alliances across the state. And so those are things that we're already working at currently at this point. We talk about through the Commonwealth that this is going to actually play a very instrumental part. What some of the women probably didn't hear, we already have women calling from Cape Providence, Rhode Island, Hartford, Connecticut. We've already got calls coming in that want to actually connect that pipeline to what we're doing. So we're actually going to debrief and talk about how do we create that that pipeline based upon those women in other states. This is powerful. So I'm a person, first and foremost, if you heard me when I close, is that I give all honor to God, because without him, he's head of my household, number one. And so without him, this doesn't happen. So
that's an amen.
That's an amen. So, you know, I get to recognize, number one. And you know, when you're doing God's work and carrying his cross, that you're going to come with persecution. You're going to come with all the critical analysis. And so, you know, we're prepared for this. You know, I've been through it through Mosaic. I've stood through the fire. People said A, B, and C, but you know, one thing I do know, what's in the dark and the light. That's not in the word, but I know if you stand for Christ, he'll bring what you know, what you do for him, into fruition. So I'm excited about that, number one. And I think that the other thing, we can't do this without infrastructure of men of color. And as you know, that's a passion for me, you know, and particularly you two young men that I know that are part of the Men of Color think tank, and it all interconnects. So I'm going to encourage and hopefully empower that one day or within 2017 that there'll be an ability to us network, you know, collectively and collaboratively together, because I think that it's time that we heal. It's time that we let go and only be consumed of the things that we are in control of. We have to create our own infrastructure. When we talk about structural racism, internalized interpersonal racism, you know, that can be individually and that could be structurally, governmental, however, institution. But to change the game, you got to create your own infrastructure. We have to rebuild in our own communities of color. And so we will do that, and we will align with our white allies, you know, and how we complement the work that needs to be done. So I say that to you both to continue to encourage us so we can encourage you, because I believe there's an opportunity for a Worcester in the state of Massachusetts.
I'm with you on a lot of that myself, but I think that the women, the lead has to come from the women. I'm not going to pretend any other things like that. Men have a habit of playing. You know, the lead has to come from the women. You guys are the organizers. You guys are the spot. And the youth has a creative mind now. Their mindset isn't as cognitive as it once was. Their mindset is creative, and the future's coming, and they're going to be the ones that participate in the future. But the skill sets that they need is being brought to them by people like you. And I think that what the women are doing is so powerful and so needed that it has no choice but to be successful. To what degree? That's something else.
But I totally agree. You hit it right on the head, Joe. I think the other thing too is like ArchAngel Chivalry. Yeah. I mean, you know, people don't want to address that and talk about that, and that's a reality of what interchange based upon everything that you talked about. But also we talk about people like you who has a given heart in many capacities, many resources, a lot of wisdom, so,
Thank you.
and so I just want to recognize that's important to me. I love this guy, literally, and more than, for many, many reasons, because you encourage me, you empower me, and, you live the dream, the world is yours, and so we can't get stuck on radical behavior because it doesn't bring the intent of impact, what the outcomes that need to happen and what we're trying to attain. And so when we get radical and we lose who we are and we don't have the ability to see a pathway, then you will lose momentum. You will lose people that will open doorways for you. You have to have people that have the ability to engage with all kinds of people, whether you black, white, straight, green, blue, or yellow. It don't matter. The reality is do you know your purpose? We know our purpose, and that's the purpose of what we're doing here today. So I leave here to say thank you, 5 o'clock Shadow, Will McNeil. I thank you, Trooper Joe, for ArchAngel. I said, because without you two brothers, this would not have happened. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for this movement. I'm really excited to watch and see how this women's coalition moves forward in Massachusetts.
We have a lot of work.
Oh, yes, you do.
We have a lot of work, but you know something? We're going to do it.
And I'll bring my flaming sword, because that's how we archangels, we kind of travel with that.
Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Truth It, and I'm inviting you 5 p.m. Mondays through Fridays to tune into the 5 o'clock Shadow. On the 5 o'clock Shadow, we talk about current events, and no subject is off the table. I ain't scared. We also want you to be a part of the show. We encourage you to call in and give your opinion on whatever it is that's on your mind. Just know that weekdays at 5 o'clock, it's time to buckle up because you're going for a wild ride. Catch Rich, Natalie, and your boy Truth It on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock Shadow, only on 7averadio.com.